Hello guys, I'm super excited to welcome you to a new video where I'm gonna be showing you my two games against none other than Alireza Firouzja. And let's start by taking a look at the first game I played against him. Two games in bullet time controls, 1+0, played in Bullet Brawl tournament where I also play Hikaru regularly. I also played Magnus there. I played so many top gems, and I think when I first saw Alireza, because it was kind of a dream I was going towards it, and when you kind of get those guys, you want to show them your best chess. So e4, he plays c5, knight f3, knight c6, and I'm not going for open Sicilian, for Kalashnikov Sicilian, for Sveshnikov Sicilian, so I'm going for bishop e5 Rasalima defense. Knight f6, bishop c6, and now I play very solid. I play d3, he goes queen c7, I go castle, he goes e5, rook e1, bishop e7, knight bd2, and the idea here is potentially to go a4, go knight c4, put pressure on e5, or as an alternative, you can play something like knight h4, and then trying to play f4, but that's a bit complicated. You also can go knight f1, knight g3. So I go a4, I go queen e2, and now I go knight c4. That was the plan, and he goes g5. A little bit aggressive, but I think it deserves some attention. So I go h3, which is, of course, like, you should never play h3 when g5 is being played, just because you kind of create a potential g4 push. And now I kind of have to take, even though here it doesn't really work out great, because I have knight f3, and I attack the bishop, and if bishop goes to h5, I have this knight f5 threatening the fork. So here it actually would have worked for me, but you shouldn't really go for it, because yes, now after h5, guess what, g4 is coming, and he of course would recapture not with the bishop but with the pawn opening h file. So I go knight d2, he goes g4, h4, that was my idea, knight f8, and g3 was just a huge mistake. Should have gone for a5, but I was of course worried of knight g6 and then knight h4, consecutive knight h4. So the best also probably would have been this, and knight g6. I can't say I should worry, but g3 here is much better. But after g3, knight g6, I mean, I can simply transpose in the position which I showed you 2 seconds ago. So knight f1, exactly, and now long castle. And here I go knight f3, which is the best move, rook e8, knight f5, and I get a little bit of edge. a5 was slightly better. Because the position is closed, I don't really have troubles, and unless Alireza does something crazy and sacrifices everything, I should be okay. Bishop f8, knight f3. The best is f3, which is kind of wild, and you're trying to tackle the king side. Knight f3, knight f4, and as I said, Alireza got a little bit crazy. Knight h3, king g2, and now b6. Bishop d2, king b7, a5, b5, and as you might see after h6, I would have had a winning advantage just because bishop a5, and I take on d8, but of course I forgot about it and played c4, and after b4 my bishop is just like a pawn on d2. I go a6, but now it's just too late, I don't have bishop a5, and I go knight d5. I went crazy, I went all in because I wanted to beat him, and knight d5 was just desperate attempt to try and grab an advantage. I mean, I don't have any pieces to attack with. Like, what are you doing, Romka? Like, knight d5 is just yeah, huge blunder by me. Knight d5 takes, now bishop f5, and I didn't take c d5, I played bishop. I played it d5 allowing bishop f5, and yeah, from now on I believe, guys, it's just nothing to watch. I'm down 2 pieces, and of course I pretty soon resigned. And we move on to the second game I played against Alireza. By the way, the accuracy in this game is, as you can see, 75 for me and 82.1 for Alireza. Not so high, and I had, as you might see by looking at the graphic, like one blunder ruined the whole game. But okay, let's move on to this game. e4, c5, knight f3, knight c6, and now once again Rasalima, knight f6, takes, d3, queen c7, h3. And now e5, castle, b3, and I'm trying to take this e5 pawn. Knight bd2, trying to get knight c4 on the board, and he again does long castle. Now I go knight d2 and knight c4. The best here is actually to play f4, and after he takes f4, queen f3, attack the pawn. And if g5, I can simply take because g5 is apparently the best move, but here I have an advantage. I can't say I'm definitely not winning just because this king side is quite strong. Knight is jumping to e5 and I don't have a good way to, you know, move it back. So knight c4, he goes g5, I go a4, he goes rook g8, I go king h2, and now he goes h5 trying to go for g4. Rook g6, rook g8, and I did some nonsense with queen e1 and queen e3, but it was still fine. h4, g3, and I should have taken and not played king h1, because now king d8 and checkmate is basically coming. So of course I should have taken, but I was like, okay, I cannot explain why I didn't take it, because you know, he cannot retake back because my position now is definitely not losing. But I was scared of something. I don't even know what I was scared of. Maybe some knight f6 and knight g4. That was probably what I was scared of. But now there is rook f6 and bishop e5, and I take the rook and completely win in position. And I also have knight g6 ideas. I mean, that's just a whole collapse. But okay, I played king h1 and now king d8, and it turned out I'm completely lost. Takes, rook g3, queen h4, rook g2, takes, and checkmate is simply coming, queen g2, and I resigned. As far as accuracy goes, 76.9 and 89.2. Yeah, I would say kind of bad game. He played 3,400. 3,400 performance, while I was only at 2450, while in the last game I think it was closer, probably not so much. Still 24 and 3,200. Yeah, I mean, it's tough playing against those guys. I had some good chances, but of course, I mean, in both games against Alireza, it's like one stupid mistake and you're cooked. But I guess that's what it takes to be a top champion. You use every mistake your opponent makes, and Alireza did it perfectly. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the future videos. Let me know your feedback on this. What do you want me to add to these videos? See you soon. Bye-bye.